Hello, good morning trainees. In this presentation, we shall learn how to prepare a 5Es lesson plan. We begin with the first page of the lesson plan. This is how the first page of a 5Es lesson plan will look like. The details you need to enter are mentioned there. Right on top is written lesson plan, where you have to enter the lesson plan number. So, if you are writing the first lesson plan, you can enter the lesson plan number as 1. If you are preparing the second lesson plan, you enter the lesson plan number as 2, and so on. On the left-hand side of the page, you will find the name of the student teacher. You will enter your name there. School is the name of the school where you will be practicing your teaching. And then the class for which you prepare the lesson plan, number of students for that particular class. Next is average age. The age for different students in a particular class may vary, so we take the average age here. For example, a child joins the school at the age of 4. So average age for class 1 students will be 6 years. Duration is the time duration of the class period. On the right hand side is the subject, where you have to mention whichever subject you are dealing with. Subjects such as English, Social Studies, Mathematics, or Science. Below that, you have to enter the name of the lesson or the topic that you are dealing with. If there is a subtopic, you can fill the blank there, but if there is no particular subtopics that you are dealing with, you need not fill that space. Name of the supervisor means the name of the person or teacher who observes or directs the execution of your teaching. And then enter the date of supervision. In the next row, we have content mapping. Content mapping is the visual representation or display of your content. What is content mapping? Content mapping is the visual representation or display of your content or the main ideas of a particular lesson. The general and specific objectives written in the second page are indicated in the content map. You can design your content map to make it look attractive. This can be done in the form of flowcharts, diagrams, graphics, pictures, etc. The pictures drawn should be related to the lesson. For example, if you are going to deal with a lesson on mobile phones, it will be inappropriate to draw butterflies to represent your content. This is an example of a content map. The picture in this content map clearly shows that the lesson will deal with deforestation or cutting down of trees. The topic is the tree cries out. The general objectives are the language skills. The specific objectives are the ones that falls under comprehension. So the poem talks about a tree that reasons towards humans, as humans had degraded nature by their activity of cutting down of trees, and the tree warns humans that their future generation is at risk because of these activities. This is another example of a content map. We can understand from the content map that the topic of the lesson is adjectives, and the lesson will deal with the position and the order of adjectives, which are the specific objectives. And then we have the language skills, which falls under general objectives. The second page of the lesson plan will look like this, with the details such as objectives, learning approach or method or technique, learning resources. The objectives of a lesson plan varies according to different subjects and different topics. General objectives are what the lesson aims to achieve overall. While teaching a poem at the primary level, a general objective can be to enable the learners to recite the poem with proper rhythm and intonation, or to appreciate the rhyme, rhythm, and style of the poem. Developing and enhancing the language skills of learners is also a general objective. To enrich the vocabulary of learners is also an important general objective in English. Specific objectives describe what will be studied within the lesson. Some specific objectives can be to help the learners learn some facts through the story, to comprehend the central idea of the poem, or to enable the pupils to appreciate the message of the poet contained in the poem. After the objectives are stated, the next thing you will need to do is to list the learning approach or methods or technique that you will be using to plan your lesson. We follow the constructivist approach. When it comes to methods, there are so many methods that you can use. Some few examples are inductive method, direct method, audiolingual method. Likewise, there are so many techniques again. Some examples are the technique of questioning, discussion, demonstration. The next is learning resources. Learning resources are added tools that help learners to learn better. Some examples are charts, flashcards, audiovisual aids, or even usual classroom resources such as chalks or textbooks or worksheets that the teacher uses to assist learners to learn better. Coming to the third page of the lesson plan, this is how the page will look like. We have the details such as time, steps, teacher's activity, student's activity, learning support material, process assessment. Time. Under this column, you will indicate the time duration for each step. Steps refers to the 5 E's, that is engage, explore, explain, elaborate, and evaluate. Teacher's activity refers to the activities that will be carried out by the teacher. Students' activities refers to the activities that will be performed by the learners. Learning support materials or LSM refers to the learning aids or the learning resources that will be used in the teaching learning process. Process assessment is the assessment of the series of actions or behaviors of learners as they perform the different activities. In the following page, you will find the extended learning activities and post-teaching reflection. Extended learning activities are the activities assigned to your students at the end of your class. It can be a question asked for students to write at home. Post-teaching reflection. It is very important for a teacher to reflect carefully about the lessons that were taught in a class. When you get home, you need to reflect on the whole lesson and identify your achievements of the day. Those achievements should motivate you to do better each day. As you reflect on your teaching, you also need to identify the areas of your weaknesses. For instance, if class management had been a problem in one of the classes, you have to analyze what actually went wrong so that the same problem will not occur in the next class. Post-teaching reflections will make a teacher more efficient. The final page of the lesson plan will have the supervisor's remarks. This includes both the positive remarks and the areas for improvement. The lesson plan ends with the supervisor's signature.